Ragged hiss of superheated air shrieks across the black volcanic plains of Mustafar. Rivers of molten lava glow ominously, casting dancing shadows against scorched rock. Amid billowing ash, Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi lock sabers atop a narrow metal platform, perched dangerously close to the smoldering flow below. Their lightsabers clash in a furious storm of sparks and shrill energy hums. Obi-Wan fights with desperate resolve, sweat beading on his brow, but the raw, dark rage fueling Anakin drives him onward with terrifying ferocity. Each blow resonates with the grief and betrayal that has consumed the Chosen One. Anakin, stop! This path will destroy everything you once stood for. I beg you, remember who you are. I am done listening to Jedi lies. You should have stayed out of my way, Master. In a final devastating flurry of strikes, Anakin slices both of Obi-Wan's ankles. The older Jedi collapses, stifling a cry of anguish as he hits the platform. Without hesitation, Anakin plunges his lightsaber through Obi-Wan's chest, ending the battle and the life of his one-time mentor. For a moment, time seems to stand still. The roar of lava fades to an eerie hush. Anakin withdraws his blade, his eyes reflecting the flames of Mustafar and the darkness within. Obi-Wan Kenobi is dead, and the galaxy trembles in unseen reverberations. Deep within the swamps of Dagobah, the canopy shrouded in perpetual gloom, Master Yoda sits cross-legged, eyes closed, deep in meditation. Suddenly, his breath quickens and pain creases his brow. The Force screams out in agony, a familiar presence extinguished. Obi-Wan, lost you I have. Yoda opens his eyes, haunted by visions of darkness overtaking the galaxy. He gazes upward through tangled vines and heavy mist, acknowledging the bitter truth. Failed, we have. The Chosen One fallen, the Jedi shattered. Into hiding we must retreat. Survival of our teachings, now paramount. With slow resignation, Yoda rises, retreating deeper into the shadows, embracing exile until the Force calls again. Nearby, Padme Amidala lies crumpled against the metal strut, overcome by panic and pain. Her voice catches in her throat. Anakin's earlier assault has left her physically and emotionally shaken, yet she still tries to reach for him, her trembling hand stained with soot and tears. Anakin, what have you done? He crosses to her, each step echoing in the hollow clang of the platform, but before he can speak, Padme gasps. Her distress is more than heartbreak. She's going into labor. The twin lives growing within her choose this moment to arrive. Anakin hesitates, anger and concern battling behind his eyes. This was not how he planned it. He carefully lifts Padme in his arms. Her pulse is erratic, her breathing shallow. R2-D2 and C-3PO watch from a distance, whistling and fretting. Hold on, Padme. I won't lose you. In the distance, a Lambda-class shuttle descends. Its ramp lowers, revealing a cloaked figure. Sidious steps onto Mustafar's burning platform, his gaze unsettlingly calm, almost amused. Lord Vader, you still cling to attachments? You've disappointed me. Again. Anakin hesitates briefly, struggling internally before his fury resurfaces, stronger than ever. You deceived me. Your promises were empty. I no longer serve your lies. Foolish boy, you dare defy your master? Anakin lunges, hatred burning in his eyes. Their blades clash in a brilliant burst of crimson and blue. Palpatine snarls, unleashing arcs of force lightning. With shocking resolve, Anakin channels the energy through his saber, stepping forward despite the agony rippling across his arms. I will be the one to decide the fate of this galaxy. In a final surge of power, the lightning arcs back upon the Emperor. Palpatine's screams echo off the walls as his body contorts under the onslaught. Then, silence. Sidious collapses in a smoking heap. The Emperor, Darth Sidious, is dead, and the Force shudders at the unraveling of destiny. Anakin staggers, quickly returning to Padme's side. She slips into unconsciousness, overwhelmed by labor pains and the swirling darkness around her. Seizing the shuttle, Anakin orders the droids to help move her aboard. His eyes blaze with a grim mixture of triumph and fear. R2, program a course to the nearest medical facility. She's giving birth, and she will not die. The shuttle races through hyperspace to the remote medical station of Polis Massa, famed for its discreet facilities. Cloaked in sterile white corridors and hums of advanced machinery, the station's med droids prepare an emergency delivery. Padme remains unconscious, her vitals stabilizing only through advanced care. The med team delicately delivers two infants, Luke and Leia. Tiny cries fill the medical bay, a glimmer of innocence amid the dark tide that's washed over the galaxy. Standing in a quiet corner, Anakin watches with an intensity that unsettles even the droids. He can sense the raw potential in his children, a power that resonates in the Force. They will be strong. They will solidify everything I have fought for. He casts a glance at the unconscious Padme. In her face, he sees the life he once yearned for, the love and light that tempered him, but now he can't risk losing her. And so, in the hours following the twins' birth, Anakin summons an ancient power, one akin to the method the Jedi Council once used on the Sith Lord Revan. Here, though, it is twisted by the dark side. With the medical droids attending the newborns, Anakin places his hand on Padme's forehead. The Force gathers in a swirl of shadow, sifting through memories, altering them. He implants an unbreakable devotion, a compulsion to remain at his side. As she lies on the table, he intones phrases that shape her unconscious mind. "You will be loyal to me. Our children will shape the galaxy. If you resist, you endanger them and yourself." The swirling dark energies imprint on her consciousness. The procedure is eerily reminiscent of Revan's reprogramming, but this time, it's fueled by desperation and tyranny rather than the greater good. Shortly afterward, with both twins bundled in protective arms, Anakin, now Emperor Skywalker, returns to Coruscant. News spreads like wildfire. Palpatine is dead, the Jedi are shattered, and Anakin Skywalker has seized the throne. Grand Moffs, admirals, and governors scramble to pledge fealty. Some resist, but most bend the knee once the HoloNet broadcasts the new Imperial family. "Citizens, the late Emperor Palpatine's reign has ended. Henceforth, the Empire is governed by Emperor Anakin Skywalker and Empress Padme Amidala Skywalker. We present to you their children, Luke and Leia, the heirs of a new galactic order." In the quiet chambers of Alderaan, Bail Organa urgently speaks via encrypted holotransmission to Mon Mothma. "Palpatine's demise was meant to free us, but Anakin Skywalker might be worse. Padme might be our only chance to reach him. She has influence. Perhaps she can..." Suddenly, the transmission flickers and distorts. Static hisses loudly, abruptly silencing Bail's words. On Coruscant, in the Imperial Palace, Anakin calmly deactivates a communications jammer. His eyes narrow as he replays the intercepted message. He turns toward Padme, maintaining a controlled facade. "Rebel politicians already plot against us. They'd even manipulate your compassion. Remember, any contact they make endangers our children's future. For our safety, I'll handle them." Padme, concern and confusion swirling behind her eyes, nods hesitantly. Her forced devotion holds firm, yet tiny sparks of doubt flicker in her expression. Images flash of the twins, serene in their mother's arms. Padme, newly awakened, stands at Anakin's side with a subdued smile, a reflection of her reprogrammed allegiance. The subtle threat to her children's safety lingers behind her eyes. Anakin's presence looms, silent and commanding. Stormtrooper legions soon receive direct orders from their new emperor: consolidate the galaxy, stamp out dissidents, and complete the Jedi purge. The final echoes of the Republic vanish as the Senate building is stripped of power. Now, the seat of authority is the Imperial Palace, Palpatine's old lair, which Anakin repurposes to his own design. Drawing on his deep knowledge of Jedi fortifications and safe houses, Anakin establishes the Inquisitorius, a specialized cadre of dark side adepts, former Jedi traitors, and hand-picked officers fanatically loyal to him. Their mandate is clear: eradicate every last Jedi who escaped Order 66. You know the Jedi's hiding places. You've seen their sanctuaries, studied their techniques. Hunt them down. Show no mercy. Let the galaxy witness what happens to those who defy me. His voice echoes through the throne room. The Inquisitors bow in unison, black cloaks swirling around them. Their first targets, scattered Jedi outposts rumored to harbor survivors. Propaganda floods the HoloNet, painting Jedi as terrorists and traitors who once plotted to overthrow Palpatine. Now, the story goes, these rogue sorcerers threaten the peaceful reign of Emperor Skywalker, unless the loyal citizens of the Empire stand firm. The message resonates with fear-laden populations. Old rumors of Jedi powers stir distrust. Citizens turn in neighbors suspected of Force sensitivity. Public executions of captured Jedi become a grim spectacle. HoloNet cameras linger on the horrifying final moments, an unmistakable warning. Entire star systems tremble under the Empire's unstoppable might. Across the galaxy, the Jedi remnants fight in vain. On Felucia, Master Shaak Ti organizes a desperate stand amid the planet's bioluminescent jungles. She knows the terrain, shaping ambushes in the twisted flora. But the Inquisitors strike swiftly, cornering her. A final duel unfolds under the neon canopy of Felucia's bizarre plant life. Despite her prowess, Shaak Ti falls, her lightsaber extinguished in a swirl of burning petals. Word spreads that her end signals the near extinction of the Jedi. Meanwhile, on Kashyyyk, General Quinlan Vos unites with his Wookiee allies to mount a fierce resistance. For a moment, they repel wave after wave of stormtroopers, using the dense forest and treetop villages to their advantage. But Anakin arrives in person, flanked by Inquisitors and heavy armor. The planet's mighty Wookiees stand no chance against the Emperor's ruthless tactics. Vos is captured and publicly executed. Survivors are enslaved, the lush world ravaged. The Force grows colder with each loss, and so the purge continues, each Jedi stronghold reduced to silence, each survivor or candle snuffed out in the endless night of Emperor Skywalker's rule. Within the gilded halls of the Imperial Palace, Padme's life is locked in an unsettling balance. The mind control, rooted in ancient Sith and Jedi reprogramming techniques, compels her loyalty, but fragments of her old self surface each time she holds Luke and Leia. She sees glimpses of innocence, wonders if she once stood for something more compassionate. "Anakin, must we wage war on so many fronts? Can we not?" He silences her with a gentle but firm hand on her shoulder. His once boyish smile is now tinged with darkness. "You would risk our children's future for a handful of rebels, criminals, and rogue Jedi? Do not question me. Our twins will inherit a galaxy of order, but only if you remain steadfast, my love." Her motherly instincts knot with fear. She bends to his will, glancing at Luke and Leia, helpless babies under constant watch by Imperial caregivers. She knows that any sign of open defiance will cost her children's safety. Even as the Jedi Order nears total annihilation, the Empire's expansion collides with the Outer Rim's underworld. Maul's Crimson Dawn, the Pike Syndicate, the Hutts, and the Zan Consortium once fought each other for territory, but under Emperor Skywalker's Iron Fist, they find a shared enemy that threatens their very survival. On the seedy moon of Nar Shaddaa, the pungent scent of spilled liquor and engine coolant permeates the secret lounge where underworld leaders huddle. Holodisplays show images of the Imperial family, Luke and Leia, hailed as heirs to the Empire, broadcast city-sized across Coruscant's skyline. "Skywalker may have killed Palpatine, but he's 10 times as ruthless. We must stand together or be erased." A heavily scarred Pike enforcer nods in agreement. A Hutt representative rumbles ominously. Fragments of Maul's network watch silently, vengeful sparks in their eyes. An alliance is formed, unity syndicates that have warred for decades. Their plan? Sabotage Imperial supply lines, destabilize the new regime, and if possible, strike at the Emperor himself. Armed with intelligence gleaned from both Imperial records acquired through bribery and infiltration, and old Jedi data, the syndicates launch raids on vulnerable outposts. For a time, they meet with minor successes, stealing shipments of kyber crystals here, crippling a Star Destroyer's supply route there. The HoloNet hums with rumors that the Empire is not as invincible as it pretends. But Anakin retaliates with brutal precision. He deploys legions of stormtroopers, advanced TIE squadrons, and new Star Destroyers fresh off secret production lines. The Inquisitorius also gets involved, rooting out hidden smugglers' dens, capturing or killing criminal ringleaders. And behind it all stands Emperor Skywalker, coordinating from the newly fortified Imperial Palace. "My lord, our troops have seized Kessel and cut off the Pike's main spice routes. Tatooine is firmly in our grasp. The Hutts are cornered on Nal Hutta, and Tiber Zan's raiding force is retreating." Anakin's lips curve in a cold smile. The final phase begins. He will break the syndicates as he did the Jedi. A massive space engagement ignites in the skies over Nal Hutta, the Hutt's stronghold. Criminal frigates, heavily modified corvettes, and patched-together fighter wings clash with the sleek might of the Imperial Navy. Turbo laser beams crisscross in a dazzling display of lethal fire. On the bridge of his flagship, the imposing Oblivion, Anakin watches with crossed arms. Beside him stands Empress Padme, Luke in her arms, Leia in the bassinet nearby under a watchful droid's eye. The children are silent, too young to understand the violence unfolding outside. "They're just children. They shouldn't witness this." They must learn the price of security. In time, they'll understand. A volley of ion torpedoes from the Hutt destroyer slams into the Oblivion's shields. The bridge rattles. Stormtrooper officers scramble to divert power to crucial systems. "Launch the next wave of TIEs. Target their flagship. Show them no quarter." The Oblivion's turbo lasers pivot, hammering the criminal vessels. Under the relentless barrage, the Underworld Alliance begins to fracture. Hulking Hutt battleships unleash desperate ramming maneuvers, colliding with Imperial cruisers in colossal blasts. Still, the Empire's coordinated fleets press the advantage. Aboard the Oblivion, a Zan Consortium boarding party attempts the final infiltration. They break into a hangar bay but are met by the crimson blades of the Inquisitors, and eventually by Emperor Skywalker himself. The confrontation is short, brutal, and hopelessly one-sided. Your revolt dies here. He cuts them down, the Force swirling around him in a deadly dance of vengeance. A final Zan operative kneels, weapon clattering to the floor. Anakin's lightsaber hums ominously, the reflection flickering in his eyes. Anakin raises his blade, then slashes downward. Silence follows. When the smoke clears above Nal Hutta, the Empire stands victorious. Debris drifts in orbit, starships reduced to hunks of charred metal. Surviving syndicate leaders scurry into hiding or surrender outright. All major criminal forces have been neutralized. The Hutts have capitulated, and the remaining Pike strongholds are in disarray. Anakin stares through the viewing window at the fiery remains of the battle. His reflection in the transparisteel reveals a man consumed by the dark side, and behind him, Padme, holding Luke tightly while Leia sleeps in her crib. A part of him wonders if this was worth it, if the dream of peace through control was ever truly attainable. It's done, Anakin. You've brought the galaxy to heel. We have our children, and an empire ready to obey. Her voice wavers, as if battling the echo of her old ideals, now buried deep under forced loyalty. Anakin closes his eyes, remembering an innocent boy on Tatooine dreaming of saving people from slavery, longing to be a hero. That child is long gone. Yes, it's done. And across the stars, from the core worlds to the outer rim, citizens bow in fear or grudging acceptance. The Jedi are nearly extinct, the crime lords shattered, and the Skywalker dynasty sits triumphant on a throne of steel and blood. And so, this tale twists to its somber end. Emperor Anakin Skywalker, once the Chosen One meant to bring balance, now enforces his own will upon a subdued galaxy. Empress Padme Amidala Skywalker, bound by ancient Sith manipulation, stands by his side, her love transformed into a tool of control. Their children, Luke and Leia, are hailed as heirs to an empire built on fear. Somewhere in the distant cosmos, hidden Jedi quietly cling to scraps of hope. Rebellious souls whisper of resisting the tyranny of the Imperial family, and in the lonely corners of the Force, echoes of Obi-Wan's final pleas ring out, unanswered. Yet for now, the Emperor's reign seems absolute. Darkness claims the galaxy, overshadowed by the might of a broken savior's ambition and the legacy he has forged in fire. Thanks for listening to this tale of what if Anakin defeated Obi-Wan on Mustafar. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. May the Force be with you, always.